Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 3 of VDRL this Sunday. We go into only the third race of the season with a titanic title fight between Jigs and Kevin. Jigs currently leading by 2 points, but Kevin, he will be hungry to take back the lead. Of course, every point counts. Joining me in the commentary box, as usual, in Season 4, Mr. Ned. So, how are you doing, mate?
I am doing very well. Obviously, we've had a few technical difficulties before the stream has started, but I'm ready and raring to go to see if I can actually get this wall working. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen in this race. Yeah, I'm just quickly going on and checking something. But I think, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm used to being in the lobbies while I'm commentating, so I can look for stuff myself. But having to watch another stream might be a bit awkward, but I should be able to do it just fine. We're getting ready to get into the short qualifying session. Do you have anything else to add before we get into the session?
I mean, one thing, the Tier Friday race was an absolute banger. I would highly recommend re-watching that one because that was a great race. In terms of predictions, how many safety cars do you think we'll get today? I'm gonna go ahead and say 3.
My first thought as soon as you said that was also 3. I'm not copying you.
Is he going all in or cautious?
As I'm saying, I'm going to go 3. It's a boring one, but I prefer to go the same one as you because I think there'll be. I think to be fair, we might see less because drivers are more cautious because they know it can cause chaos. But I think at the same time, the reason why there was 3 safety cars on Friday, the first safety car only came after like 16 laps, and then we just had 2 ones afterwards because safety cars breed safety cars. Yeah. I think that I think that if we do get 1 safety car, I think it will cause we'll have 4 safety cars. But if we manage to go a full clean race, we could have 0. I think we'll have 0. Like 7.
Right. So safety cars are actually aggressive cars. Anyway, we're jumping into qualifying any moment now. It's Australia. It's not going to rain. We're going to see some fast laps today. As we should get. It says session will start in 000. So
is it glitched? Oh, it's restart the countdown.
Oh, no. There we go. All right, we can go through the grid. So we got Seasword in the Red Bull, and then Edie in the AlphaTauri, Remus in the Aston Martin, Jans in the other AlphaTauri, Captain Void in the Alfa Romeo today. Don't play with 0 as normal in the house, the same as Dux V in the Alfa Romeo, R34 in the Williams, Willies as usual. In the other house, we got a new guy. I think I've not seen him before. How the fuck do you pronounce that? Lint? I'm gonna call you Lint. I'm so sorry. Freitzaus, as usually, in the McLaren. Trigon Later Boy today in the Williams. Our championship leader, Jigs, in the Mercedes. As my screen has disappeared. Where were we? Shmi in the Ferrari. Snai in the Alpine. Toro in the Red Bull. Kevin, the man who's P2 in the championship in the Ferrari. Rajic in the Aston. Limitless in the other Mercedes. Finishing Hart and Han in the Alpine and McLaren, respectively.
Yeah, I mean, there was some drivers I remember from the Friday race who have crossed over into this one, and I think Kevin remembers from that Friday race the whole motto of "be patient," because I remember in the Friday race he was all over the shop. He was crashing, or not crashing a lot, but he was going for moves that weren't really on, and it really affected his end result. I think that what he will have taken from that Friday race is to just be more patient.
Yeah, especially if there are safe cars, being patient is key. Jigs, though, he was on for that win. I don't want to spoil too much, as I mentioned, you guys should go back and watch it. As Dux will be the first man to start a lap in the Alfa Romeo, coming out of the final run. You want to get a good exit out of here. It's a reasonably long main straight. DRS, you got 4 DRS zones. This place is absolutely littered with them. High-speed corners, don't get in the way coming out of the pit lane.
Yeah, he hasn't. That's doing turn 1 nicely. I find that drivers tend to take the curves less than they used to in previous games. I remember they used to always attack that curve back on like F1 2019, F1 2018. But now we're coming through the twisty part of this first sector, up towards the first sector split. Obviously, he'll be the first person to set a sector time. It's a 27.5 for the turn there, but I think he nearly went invalid on the exit of the corner going onto the backstretch. Now coming in towards what I call the banana straight because it's shaped like a banana.
It's not straight at all.
Yeah, it's not straight at all. It's just flat out. It's very difficult in F2 cars, I can tell you that for sure. Coming into Clark chicane, hits the inside curb, avoids the one, hits the left, inside curb, and avoids the one on the right. And he's just trying to get it slowed down into a corner that caused a lot of issues in Friday race because it is a very tight corner. It narrows a lot as well. It's very much a one-line corner unless you can get the move done before the braking zone or before the apex. Yeah. He's got a car in front of him, but it shouldn't affect him too much. He doesn't do an Adrian Sutil out of the last corner, but he's going to come up to the line and he's going to go on what time is that?
Who is the man behind him? I think it is Alpine if he's on a lap. No, we'll just stay on what we'll see. So who's going into the pit lane? Sly going, what's that? 7/10 quicker, so... I mean, 180, I don't remember what the quality time was for Friday here. However,
it was 16.8 from what I remember.
16.8. Wow, so there we go. There's the 16.7, pretty much a 16.8 from Jigs. That's the time we were expecting for someone of his caliber, I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because it's him and a couple of other drivers. Kevin's always near the front in this tier, from what I remember. Captain Boys has gone to 17 too. I haven't seen his name before, or at least I don't remember it. So he must be. Wasn't Shmi also in the championship lead after the first round? So he's always up there.
He was, but he then DNF'd in round 2, which brought him down the road.
Yeah. So there's obviously going to be a lot of stuff to look out for. It seems like there's quite a high field spread, 2.6 seconds at the moment between the fastest and the slowest cars. Is that 2.6 seconds, or have I just got my maths wrong? It is, 2.6 seconds.
And, I just want to say real quick, Merck in the YouTube chat, giving us quality predictions. I'm going to say Jigs has got this on pole. Captain Void I have seen before. I'm going to say it'll be Jigs, Kevin, and Captain Void are our top 3 for qualifying.
I don't think I'm going to be able to give predictions because I don't know enough about the drivers to make an accurate prediction.
Anyway,
if I was to give 3 names, pardon?
Go for it, mate. I mean, Kevin's not can wait.
I'd say if I was to give 3 names, I'd say Jix on pole, Kevin in P3, and in the sandwich, I'd say Shmi. That could be. That would be a bit of a more guesstimation.
Kevin went fastest in Sector 1 though, so he's now through the banana straight. I think I'll start calling that as well, as he's now through the fast turn 9 and 10 chicane it is. The final DRS zone of this lap, as you just see the water to the right, and then the squared off corner. It's very much squared off since the track is modifications. Then a corner that's a lot like the Lesmos in Italy, and you've got 2 more corners to go that kind of snail into one another. You go left, back to the right, hug the apex, running out wide. That was absolutely brilliant from Kevin. It is a fairly long run up to the line. What will it be? It's a 17-1, and it's currently P2, and that is my prediction right there.
That was my. I said P3. Maybe I was a bit too complacent with that one. But
to be fair, he's barely quicker than P3, so.
Yeah, obviously we'll have. I assume is it because obviously we have 20 people. I'm assuming it's a full qualifying session then.
I actually don't know, Martin, if you can confirm that. If yes, then we'll probably not see the top 5. In fact, the top 8 probably won't go out again. Okay, maybe. Well, the top 5 aren't going out again, especially Jigs.
I mean, the field spread, if you discount Linter, or whatever his name is, sounds very like Scandinavian name. If you discount him, the field spread from like 13th until about P4 is relatively close.
Yeah, I can confirm it is not full quali, as Martin did not have time to change that. In fact, I don't mind short quali. It just means everyone has to get their laps done. As speaking of getting laps done, Limitless is about to start his lap. This guy was in the championship fight on Sunday tier, I believe it was last season, just coming short to Jigs, or yeah, just coming out short to Jake's anyway. Then you got turns 1 and 2, a quick chicane leads onto another short DRS, and then you got this little opened up section here. Basically, just to give a bit more street track vibes. It's in fact the second street track in a row, as we were in Jeddah last week. So, and just to let you know how broken F122 is, you could be on the grass going into that corner, and you would have just as much grip.
Oh yeah, F122, in my opinion, is I think it's the worst F1 game since F1 2014. It's the second worst in F1 history that I've played by Codemasters.
He is keeping very nice speed through the chicane, though. It's looking to be a pretty good lap here. This could be on for top 5, something like that. What do you think, so?
It's looking good. It's looking clean, and usually clean and smooth is fast. You don't want to be soaring away at the wheel. You don't want to be getting massive snaps of oversteer, and he's not doing that. Even through these tricky sections, like I always get oversteer out of the second to last corner, and through the last corner, you kind of dancing with the wheel. And let's see what he does. It's only 8th place,
but very not far off P6 and even P. I mean, if you're in P6, right, you're only 2/10 away from P4. So I mean,
yeah, you're in that gaggle of cars from Ede or Ede or whatever you call him in 4th place, down to about it's one of the Red Bulls has lost the back end of Caesar. As I was saying, 4th place down to what was it, like 10th place is separated by 5/10 or so.
Like, second.
Yeah. I think that is if I was one of the, you want to be, if you're towards the back end of that kind of like in 9th or 10th place, you want to be at least keeping where, I mean, you want to be as high up the grid as possible. I was going from the perspective of full qualifying for a second there, because I was thinking they could get eliminated, but I realised it's not full qualifying anymore, so that point's kind of new. But
I mean, I haven't seen a lot from this lap, but what I have seen, it's been just as good as Limitless, so this could just make that 5/10 gap even more dense, I guess you would say, across the line. It is a 72 P2 from Rajic. Wow. What a lap from the Aston Martin driver.
I mean, you could say, like I said on Friday, you could say he's pulled out some magic there from Rajic. I mean, Toto's also retired. I'm not sure if there's any reason for that.
I think he crashed. I don't know, must have missed it while we were talking about, I think it was Limitless lap. But yeah, Rajic, he seems to really be enjoying this Albert Park circuit this weekend. Don't play with Zero, he has not set a lap time. He's still, I think this must be his first run or first attempt.
Yeah, well, it obviously is. He went a bit over that curve, that's lost him the speed. Oh, he's off! He's off into the wall, he's out!
And he won't set a lap time in this session.
Mounted that entry curb on the entry, obviously, on the inside of the left-hander. That unsettled the car, but not enough to give him oversteer. And then he clobbered the one on the inside from the right-hander, and it was just too much, and the car just didn't like it and did a swap on him.
Try again later, boy, as well, someone who has not set a lap time yet, so...
Try again later, boys, that one, yeah. He's on his outlap at the moment, currently holding the brake in the throttle. In this game back, what that does is it heats up the brakes, which in turn heats up the carcass on the surface of the tyres. Obviously, it's not a good tactic in real life. What do you say?
He is at quite a high speed for that, though. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, because if you do this in real life, you'll knacker your clutch and all your brake pads and your stuff.
Don't do anything that we say is smart in the game, RL. Just don't. Anyway, try again later, boy. Sets up his lap, takes a wider turn, which is the way you're meant to do it. Now opens up that DRS wing, the big letterbox, if we're taking some inspiration from Sky Sports XL. Please click the big red subscribe button and the bell. Second DRS zone, he's kept it very nicely through turn 1 and 2. Clean, smooth, but aggressive. Controlled chaos, some would say, or controlled aggression. Brings it back over to the right. Does not manage that curb. You want to use the curb to hook around that left-hander. Anyway, it's so far been very clean. He's kept it nicely angled through here. How fast can he keep it through here? It does not do an Alex album, which is always good, as I actually missed a sector one split time. I don't think it was perfect.
He's done it 6.6. I don't know what that is compared to everyone else, but it's quite a quick. I think that's relatively quick. He's going into the Clark chicane now.
Purple. However, that is pretty much just a straight line, or not straight line, just a
So that
square.
means he's running left downforce to everyone else.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see how this lap ends as you finish off with a pretty technical section of medium speed corners with one slightly low speed, and that's the second to last corner. This in medium speed, under the bridge he goes, picks up his braking point and his turning point, wings it, and now he's only got a couple of 100 meters to go, and we'll see where he ends up.
Yeah, we will. Will he go to the top of the time he's already going anywhere near? He does. He goes 4th place. That's a 1 minute 17.0. It is. Only 3 tenths of pole position, but he's in that place where he's in a good position. He's about 600 of a second ahead of Rajic, as we go on board with Han, who is preparing for that.
We missed Kevin going back into P2 and missed Han going into P3, so Jig's provisional pole position, might not be that safe. He will have to go out again. However, he is saving quite a few sets of stuff.
Yeah, Seagull's on his outlap. He's just preparing for that. Down in 15th place. He's quite a distance, quite a way off the pole position. Not sure how bad. You see him kind of in the kind of upper midfield fight usually. To see him down in 15th place is quite subpar. He's got a clear track in front of him now though, and he's going to try and rectify those errors, and that's why the drivers don't go on that inside curve anymore, because it unsettles the car, and he nearly lost it completely coming out of 2 as you come down multi-drive into turn 3. Nicely done on the brakes, just use the rear locking a bit there to turn that rear end. Nicely done through 4, gets back to the outside, sweeps through the corner into 5, but it's invalid. I saw that he went like less than a tyre width off the circuit there, and he went invalid, so he's going to have to redo that lap, either on a new set of tyres or on the same set.
I don't think he's got time to come into the pits, change tyres as it's very slow. Jans is on a lap though. He's currently P9 and he's in the middle of that very tight area where 310s would put you just P7, P6 if you get a full 10s, and I think that was his first lap that put him there, so we could see a pretty healthy improvement from him.
Yeah, he's looking like he's using all the track limits on the exit of the last corner. It is P7 for him, 4/10 improvement. Nearly 4.5 tenths improvement, really. And I think that's a good lap from him as we see who are we going on to now. We'll go on board with SNY in the Alpine. He went top of the time sheets at one point, I think, right at the start of the session, but obviously he's down in 14th place now. He's 2 tenths up as he comes through the sector 2 split, coming up the back straight in towards the tight right-hander. Nicely done on the brake, actually. Oh, he's lost it. He went in way too deep and tried to compromise by steering the car more, which over-rotated it, and he put him into a spin, or a half spin, really, because he didn't fully go round.
Well, that is his qualifying done and dusted, I'm afraid. As with that front wing damage, he will not have enough time. I mean, he could go for a lap, but he'll be stupid. Schmido is about to start his lap, and he's just like Jans in the thick of it. In the thick of these tight 17-7, 17-8, 17-9s. He did not unsettle the curb on the apex of turn 2. Down the straight he goes, picks out his braking point. I think there's a car up ahead. That's an Alpine of Snipe who cuts the corner. He is off to New Zealand, I believe. If you look very far in the distance, there he will be.
He's going to meet Liam Lawson and Bruce McLaren there. We're coming in towards the second.
He tried the F122 strat. Tipped the tire on the grass, and that's just no front end from him. Han is on the lap though.
Han is on the lap. He is P3 man.
Oh, never mind. He's 2.2 seconds off.
Oh yeah, never mind. Jigs is on an outlap.
Jigs and Kevin on top of each other, I think. Wait, where's Kevin on there now? Yeah, Jigs is right behind Kevin.
This is where if I was in a pole position fight, which I'm never usually in, I usually play the mind game, slow down a little bit, just get in the head of it as we go into the final lap. But Kevin doesn't seem to have done any of that. He has marbles on his rear tyres, which might not help his grip. But we're coming up towards the first corner on board with Kevin now. Let's see how he can do on his qualifying lap.
Yeah, through turn 1, he is in the fight for pole position. He's only a 10th off, pretty much dead on a 10th. However, he's also got Jigs behind him on track. and a Mercedes ahead of him as well. So right now on track, the Ferrari of Kevin is in a bit of a Mercedes sandwich. However, no funny games will be played in this league, at least not from the two Mercedes drivers. They're both very clean. Then Kevin barely improves in Sector 1, so he's got a lot of time to find in these couple of turns that remain, as most turns are actually in Sector 1. Freitas has retired from the session, so that's just him having enough. That is his qualifying done. Now, I think all the time will be found here. He is, once again, belly up. What's Jigsaw?
Let's see what he can do in this last sector. Can he make up the...
Oh, Jigs has invalidated. It's all down to Kevin now. It's all down to Kevin.
Okay, let's see if he can do it. I didn't really see if... I didn't see what had happened over Jigs, but we're coming towards this last sector. Can he find that 10th? We might see some the rear stepping out if he puts the throttle on a bit too much. You can see he's actually got it pretty much tractioned up on the exit. Is it enough? He comes to the line. Is it going to be sufficient to go on pole?
Yes, it is!
Holy
shit.
730.
That was a Max Verstappen final sector there from Monaco. But don't count out this man, Captain Void here. We've seen him, he's up there. He does have half a second to make up. However, he can still improve. He will probably still improve. Will it be enough though? I think it's just a bit too far. But what a final sector that must have been from Kevin. He just licked the stats and sent it there.
Yeah, he did. It was only a 10th game, but when you're up at the top echelons of trying to get pole position, a 10th is basically like a second in other echelons. But now, of course, he doesn't improve, does he, Captain Void? He went deep into second to last, and it compromised his run for the rest of the lap. Yeah, so I think that's it for qualifying. I think the debutant Linter right at the bottom there hasn't really shown himself up very well.
I don't think that lap is representative, though. I think there was a mistake on that lap.
Okay, fair enough. He must have, I don't know what's... Maybe he just invalidated all the other runs, which is why he is...
Let's hope so.
Yeah, 3.7 seconds off a pole position isn't exactly a good look in your first race. But yeah, I'll tell you who is looking good after that. Kevin is on pole position. And 28 thousandths of a second. Let's hope it's that close in the race. Let's hope we see some extreme battles. Let's hope we see some photo finishes in this race. But there is not just those two, but those four drivers at the front of the field are within about a tenth and a half of each other. I mean, if they translate that into race pace, we've got a four-way fight for the win.
Between four different teams, only two different engines though.
Oh yeah, because we have a Mercedes and a Ferrari. I mean, Ferrari customer teams have never been known for doing well. There's a funny fact that in real life F1, only two teams have ever won a race with a Ferrari engine, and that's Ferrari and Toro Rosso. Despite the fact that so many teams have been supplied with Ferrari engines, only two have ever won.
Anyway, your finishing qualifying results on pole position. Kevin, by the skin of his teeth, he put together probably the best piece of qualifying entertainment I've seen on the game. Jigs lines up alongside him. He'll be eager to make up that place into turn 1. Triangulator Boy right behind them, so he as well will be aggressive going into turn 1. And Han only 1.5 tenths off, so that's not too bad. Then we go to the midfield. Rajic, Caesar, and Captain Void all tight to each other, and then it's not even done. There you go, Limitless, P9, R34 rounding out the top 10. And I did not have time as everyone readied up very quickly.
I often see the countdown in the top of the screen. I'm like, right, let's just speed up now. Let's do some speed running strats for the rest of us.
I saw it on 8 seconds and I was like, oh, should I go start just saying the names and positions? However, it just went then. Anyway, it's very doom and gloom today. Here,
yeah, it's cloudy-ish. It's looking overcast from a tiny little bit of sky we can see in the far distance.
I just want to say, we know Australia's very warm. Look at the strategy going on at Red Bull, putting out the hard tires now to warm up in the Australian heat. That's some 900 IQ gameplay from the...
Absolutely. But yeah, obviously, Australia... I remember when I first got into F1, shows how old I am, really. Australia was the first race on the calendar. Now it's Bahrain. Or whatever. Now we're going to...
Never mind, there's no formation lap. It's 5 red lights in Australia today. You got the Ferrari of Kevin to your right. It's lights out, and away we go. Jigs gets off with a great start. I think he's already alongside going into turn 1. Will he stay behind? He's barely ahead. He'll have to pull out of that move. He's on the soft tires, so he wants to get past immediately behind. I think someone has gone round as people are moving up left, right, and center. Anyway, Jigs to the outside of turn 3, going into this technical section. Dragon Later Boy is right behind him, though, going for any gap he can see, with Haaland dropping slightly back. These three, though, I said it in the previous season, they're like the King, Chuck Hicks, and Lightning McQueen, nose to tail for the entire race.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, Jigs needs to get this move done quickly because he's on the soft tyres. The other two are on the mediums. He needs to get the move done early on if he's wanting to use those soft tyres to their highest effectiveness. Yellow's in sector 2. I'm not sure if someone has gone off in the back. I think a Red Bull has gone off. It looks like Toto. But you can see just behind Jigs is very hesitant. He doesn't look like he's confident. He missed the apex into the chicane. But is he going to send a move into the sharp right-hander? He was dummy into the inside to the outside, but he's not gone for it.
Yeah, you're sticking behind. As we mentioned in qualifying, you pretty much have to be alongside Kung into the braking zone already to make a move there, or you have to be on superior tires, which he's on better tires, but both very, very fresh, and he actually has a slide. So, I don't know, maybe that's tires not warm, however, the softs should warm up fairly quickly. So, I don't know, maybe just the medium's better race tire today.
And maybe it is. These colder conditions, actually, colder conditions usually benefit softer tyres, but I suppose this game makes about as much sense as it doesn't make any sense. Yellow flags up to 1, I can see positions moving up and down. Finishing Hart is now finishing last because he's right at the back of the grid. Edie, or whatever his name is, Ede, is in these just lots of position you can see, but we're just focusing on these front runners. Because they're just pulling up. Well, we're not actually pulling. I was going to say they're pulling away. They're not pulling away. But the biggest gainer on that opening lap was Lintayer, the rookie or the debutant, who's doing a good job. From 18th place on the grid, he's up 4 positions.
Yeah, and it's very tricky to break DRS to the carbine, much like Austria, where half of the lap is spent with DRS. So pulling out 1 second is very difficult. You really have to do it in those 3 laps on the race start, or when a safe car is in, as Rajic has spun it. However, still Jigs waiting behind. He'll have to do it with DRS in the banana spray, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a tough one for Jigs. So if we can get the telemetry, but I don't know how much ERS he has compared to
he's got like 100%. You can just see on the steering wheel. 92. He does go quickest.
When
someone has spun it. Not sure. Yep, there he is. The Willies of R34.
Yep, that's a problem for him. Kevin's teammate is in the pits. It's Shmee. So ex-championship leader is now in 20th place and last, while his teammate is out in front.
The entire grid is a Ferrari sandwich. That is a thick sandwich, and I think you've just jinxed Lint here as he's back down to P19. I think he had a little spinala coming out of turn 2.
That's a shame for him. Anyway. I'll tell you what, isn't it a shame? Jix is raring up for this move. He's got double the ERS that Kevin does. Does he have double the commitment going in towards the left-right chicane? It looks like he does. He gets the move done before the corner even comes around.
And he will have DRS down this straight as well, as it's a double straight for 1 detection point.
Yeah, I don't agree with double detection. I think it's stupid. I don't know why you'd ever do it. It's meant to increase overtaking, yet you won't let someone who's behind try and overtake. It's a stupid idea. Same with Mexico and other tracks like that.
You sound like Jeremy Clarkson. So stupid. Oh, Dragon Later Boy having a little snap on entry there. I mean, right now, in terms of ERS, Kevin's, as you mentioned, what was he at? 50%? Yeah, look at that. He's trained at staying ahead. However, the DRS is even more powerful than we imagined around here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why. What is the optimum strategy around here? Is it a 2-stopper or is it a 1-stopper? Is it a medium hard or is it a soft medium soft?
Honestly, I think we'll see some soft hards runners.
Okay, so if you're if you're Kevin, what you need to do is you just need to keep in that DRS range, and that's pretty easy because the longest section of track that you have where you're not in a DRS range is probably the gap between at the end of the back stretch coming into sector 3 and turn and the one on the main straight.
Yeah.
So we just need to.
Here we go, Kevin.
Here we go again.
To the backside of it.
Yeah, that's sensible. Some sensible racecraft from Kevin there. But he's going to possibly be under attack from the cars behind.
Yeah, Dragon Later Boy just went purple. However, as we know, he's running insane wings. Very low wings. Actually, as what we saw in qualifying. 3-second time penalty. Don't play with zero. Has got, well, more than zero warnings penalties. There's almost quite a few. Schmiel 5 seconds. Edie 3 seconds. And then Ducks forever. And as I just mentioned, don't play zero. 3 seconds as well.
Yeah, I can definitely see that Try Again Later Boy is lacking in the downforce front. He's struggling through his corners. Not only will that mean he's struggling through the corners, but it'll mean he's struggling on tyre wear. Because the lower downforce you have, the more slip angle you have when you come to these corners, and especially when you get to that late part of the stint, he will be sliding a lot more on those tyres than, for example, Jix or Kevin, even though Jix is on different tyres.
Yeah. No way. Kevin's still sitting behind in the DRS. That's the only thing we can do right now. Use the battery, charge up a bit of battery, or use the DRS, sorry, and charge up a bit of battery.
Yeah, so the word battery anymore in one sentence, mate. DRS he is in deployment, but Jix is in control of this. Because you know that if Kevin even comes like alongside of him, you can just go, oh, I'm going to deploy that DRS and pull about 5/10 on you, mate. I think he's got that control. He is on the worst tyres, but they will. I think actually now with 5 laps in, they might be. Obviously, there'll be a lot. The deficit or the differential between the tyres will be a lot smaller. So we might be coming to a bit where they're in a kind of limbo phase where they're both on similar quality tyres.
Yeah, as the mediums will be quicker once the soft reach 25%. When will that be? Probably around lap 9, 10, 11, maybe even slightly under, depending on how aggressive Jix is. So far, he's been very smoothly over harm. Now only 2/10 back from Dragon Later Boy, so Dragon Later Boy's mistake in these technical sections has brought Han back into it.
I mean, to be honest though, like if you look at not just at the top 4, there's a DRS train going down to there's a DRS train going down to 7th place, and then you've got the cork in the bottle that is Friet, who is in 8th, that's kind of ruining that. But if you look, that is a train of 7 cars because of the composition of the DRS straight here. Because there's 4 of them.
Kevin.
Here comes Kevin. He does go to the outside. He's got the better line into the second part of the chicane because he'll be able to get a better run off the corner. Yeah, he's just waiting. That's the thing. I think Jix knows that he can let him just sit behind him. Kevin is not going to go for a stupid move. It doesn't seem. I think he's learned some stuff from Friday, and I think
that's his championship contender in front of him, or his championship rival.
And he's in his 5 car. It's like a typical, whenever, because it's conveniently that all times that a leader has a problem in modern F1 is at Monaco. It reminds me of like the 2016 or the 2018 Monaco race where they're just lining up behind the leader to try and get a past him, but they can't.
The thing, follow the leader here tonight at Albert Park because we got yellow flags in sector 3. That's turned out. That could be a safe car, and that is absolute. Is it? Oh, that is Rajic. Who, I mean, mate, you crossed the pit, you crossed the white line, so you...
What I assume is done is either A, he's coming into the pit anyway, and the crash has happened in the pit lane, so he's had to go out to the pit lane to try and avoid it, but he's then missed it, or there's a collision on the track, and he's gone into the pit lane to try and avoid it.
I think he just saw the safe car and was like, ooh, let me pit, but he was past the white line.
I mean, obviously, in real life, I think crossing the white line is, what, a 5-second time penalty. Sometimes that's even worth it if you're going to get on a better strategy. But obviously, he's paid the price for trying to be a bit clever.
Is it too early for the soft runners?
Yes. I don't like. You could be at the best tire. You could be at Avis, the old F1 track from the 50s, and you'd still not be able to do 22 laps on the soft tires. I'd say mediums. Yeah. From what I know, I don't play this game as much as I used to. But mediums could maybe go if you were a saint on them, and if you polish them every 5 seconds.
Is it too early for the soft people to pit?
Oh, he's too early for the soft people to pit. I think you can go hard. You could go hard to the end, but I think with the whole safety cars breed safety cars thing, I'd stay out if I was a.
Well, Jiggs is pitting.
Well, if Jiggs pits, everyone's going to pit because it's chain reaction.
Look at that. We could see some overtakes in the pit lane. Here with people getting stuck behind. Let's look at Kevin though. He was quite far behind from Jiggs in pit entry. There we go. Kevin does not get held up. That is huge. As we might see a double stack down at Mercedes. I think that's green though. Yeah, I think Limitless lost a bit of time. He's P7 now. As it's
so they're all going to fall out of the pole.
Jiggs on mediums.
Jinx is on mediums. Okay, so what he's trying to do is no, don't tell me he's trying to go to the end on medium, unless he's trying to do mediums and then hope for another safety car towards the end and then go on
he's
top.
gunning for another safe car, yeah.
I mean, it's a bold strategy. What he needs to do, because obviously he is now in first place, so what he can do is he can just bolt on the safety car restart, put his foot down for like 3 or 4 laps, or 2 or 3 laps, get the gap he needs to get out of the RS, and then just let the people behind do what he was doing before, which is just doing a massive follow the leader.
Yep.
It's a risky strategy, but it could work. And then, bear in mind, like, he's not going to get to the end on those tyres. If he gets to the end on those tyres, then he is literally Jesus. But yeah, we have 18 cars still in the race. Now I think we have a good 5 or 6 that are in contention for at least a podium position, if not a win.
Yep. I'm gonna do some promotion now. So please, everyone in the stream watching, subscribe, like, that really helps out. Join the Discord. That's the hub of the racing league. You know, you got your stewarding, you got your trash talking, you got your shouting at each other, the commentary from 2 very handsome lads, I will say. Then you follow us on Instagram and TikTok at VDRL or just VD Racing League. You got the VDRL web shop and get yourself some fresh merch. It helps you with the girls, trust me. Take it from me. Then of course we got the sponsorship with the printing company, and yeah, that's about it.
I agree with everything he's just said. Yeah, you probably don't know how to do marketing. Yeah, I was like Kimi Räikkönen. Yes, but it is.
Yes.
But yeah, we
should be in lap 9 though.
Yeah, if R34 catches up, because at the moment he looks like he'd get about 7 miles an hour for all the corners.
Delta's switched on me.
It could be, yeah, fair enough. But I think as long as he's not a spanner on this lap, I think he should be fine, and we should be getting going with 20 laps to get to the end. From what I've seen of him, he's a fairly competent bloke, so, or whatever he is. He should be a fairly competent person to drive around the circuit and manage to catch up to the back of a safety car.
Yeah.
Q, I mean, that's got Q.
Yeah,
I don't know, I would take everyone and then just sit at the front.
Anyway, welcome to VDRL nap time as we're on the safe car conditions.
Yeah, pretty much. So usually what I do on my other streams is just go through random F1 trivia or history, but then I can't really think of anything for Australia.
Well, it was in Adelaide until, what was it, 96 was the final race?
95 was the last race in Adelaide. Oh yeah, Australia has hosted the second most season finales in F1 history. The safety car is in this lap. Adelaide hosted the second most season finales in F1 history behind... actually, in terms of countries, Australia has hosted the second most season finales. I mean, the USA has hosted the most season finales because they used to always host them at Watkins Glen back in the day.
Yeah. Anyway, we are going green this lap. Take it away, Nedso.
Yep, I will do so. So Jix is just backing up the pack. I'm not sure if we can get the telemetry up just to see his speed and when he's going to drop the throttle on the restart. Obviously, he's warming up those brakes, trying to get nice and toasty, and those tyres, more importantly, is what he wants to be warming up. He's just keeping it all nice and slow to about 40 miles an hour or 70 in Euro. As we come round the final corner, when is he going to drop it? I think he has done. He's already round the final corner, and he's got a nice little gap to Kevin there, which will be nice. But Kevin is being attacked by Triangulation Boy, but Triangulation falls back towards the end of the straight. He gets a bit of the ERS clipping as we go into turn 1. The Mercedes of Limitless overtakes Jans there. Good job from him, but Jans might try and get him back off of the exit of the corner, coming down to drive into turn 3.
Yeah, what a restart from the Mercedes, getting past into turn 1. That was huge on the mediums. Getting past a slower AlphaTauri on hards. There's Aston Martin, who's the sole Aston Martin remaining. A bit of a blockade there, taking a tight line, or forced onto the tight line rather. As you got Captain Void very close to Han right now. And I think he will go for the move there. Or does he just does not have the straight line speed, it seems like.
I think it's because because it's a banana straight, the outside line is longer, is more distance, is longer, more meters. But we're seeing
Limitless
trying to go around the outside of Caesar. This isn't going to end well. Oh, they managed to give each other just enough room, but they're bumping and barging each other. Oh, and just as
Switch back.
well. They're still going for it. This is like Arno and
Oh,
Villeneuve.
a switchback into a switchback.
So he's going to do a double switchback, and now we see Janssen now all over them, and so is the Alfa Romeo. It's going to be 4. It's going to be 2 by 2 going into turn 1. Oh, is it not ending well? I can tell you.
Boxed in.
Certain. Yeah, Paul Martin doesn't know which camera to go because they're all everywhere. Oh my god, how many cars do you want in about 200, in the space of about 100 metres?
AlphaTauri absolutely sends it.
Yep. They're all kind of in this space where they can't really stay away from each other. It's like a caterpillar of cars. These orders nice to pull away from these ones, thank God. But Jans is now holding a bit of a bottleneck right behind him.
Oh wow, that was a mega sequence of corners. And look at that's cool. Everyone back up.
Yeah.
There's like three different groups. You know, you've got the leaders, you've got the midfield, and you've got the back markers.
Captain Ward's got a 3-second time penalty. That's not going to help him in this kind of close fight.
Absolutely not. It's still very close. He'll only get closer with DRS as the Alfa Romeo of Captain Boyd absolutely clobbers that inside curb.
And now loses the position to one of the McLaren. He'll now get tag teamed by the other one as we come in towards the last corner. I'm sorry, second to last corner. Oh, a bit of a tap from the rear. That's not what you want going through one of the trickiest traction zones on the F1 game. As we see Captain Boyd he's got the DRS on the car in front of him, which might help him, but it's also bringing the McLaren behind him closer. He's looking to be struggling. He might have, I don't know if he has good damage of some sort, or if he's just driving like a melon. I don't know which one would be more likely with him.
I think everything has calmed down here between P4 and P8.
I will say though, you know how I said it on the safety car, but what Jick needed to do is he needs to pull out a gap. I mean, he's pulled out a bit of a gap. He's out of DRS range, obviously, which will help him, but he's 1.8 seconds. Sorry, as the Alpine of finishing hard is trying to overtake. Thank goodness he ghosted there, because Dux Forever has a spatial awareness of someone who doesn't have any spatial awareness. I think he needs to go to Specsavers. As he nearly turned in on him there. Oh, and there's an Alfa Romeo being overtaken. That's Captain Boyd being overtaken by Fruit there. So McLaren are now Linus down in 7th and 8th place.
Yeah, and the Alfa Romeo still looking to make a move here, but it's not looking like you got yellow flag in sector 3. That's two cars who have absolutely shot each other, and Schmee's looking very guilty there as he turns as I would love to know what happened there. That was a big accident.
Oh, that was a big accident.
Jake's got past the safe car. He's going to have to do another lap.
Yeah, it's alright. He's gone past the safety car. He's not been bunched up behind it, though, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
If he got bunched up behind it, that's when he'd have the problem, because then he'd lose all his track position. But this is definitely him. He's going to be able to go onto hard tyres now until the end. And then he'll have 5 laps of harder tyres than everyone, or 5 laps, sorry, newer tyres than everyone else. But, on the contrary, everyone else could probably go mediums to the end now.
He could also go mediums to the end if he has got.
But he hasn't pitted.
No, he has. He was on softs first, mate.
He could go soft, medium. It's a case of, does he want to have better tyres at the end, or does he want to have better tyres now? With the DRS, I'd actually say you probably want better tyres at the end.
Yeah. But everyone else will have the same or worse tyres. Depends if they pit trial later, but we've got past Kevin and we missed that.
We did. That's us being encapsulated in the midfield and back marker battles. I
don't really know what to talk about now.
Yeah, tyre strategy in the pits. It will be, will Jix go on to mediums or will he go on to hards? Does he want the better tyres at the end, or does he want the better tyres now so he can try and do what he just did and pull away? But if everyone else is on the mediums, he'll be very struggling to pull away. And also,
Kevin crosses the white line. Well, the yellow line it is here.
That's a tough one on him. He needs to be a bit more spatially aware again. Jans has stayed out, by the way. for the lead.
Jigs
But everyone
on
else
mediums. First set
Yeah,
of mediums for the number 69 car.
most of them are going to the mediums, which I'm not surprised at because they're league races and they want the biggest advantage they possibly can right now. They're not really thinking about the later potential advantages. But that means with the shuffling, for some reason Yant and Han think it's better to be on old hards until the end of the race than it is to be on new mediums, which is a bit of a strange call.
Maybe they're expecting another safe car involving the leaders. Anyway, you joined us on lap 14 out of 29. Jigs on pole position, 2 safe cars, and split strategies going onto the second safe car where the top 7 all staying on their initial tires. Sorry, Jigs got past the Ramos there as... What is this, lads? Come on, guys. It's a safe car. You're meant to stay in the line.
Yeah, I think what Pret needs to do is he needs to stop being stupid and pull behind the car that he's supposed to be behind. Stop being Max Verstappen. You're not Max Verstappen, mate. It's not even on a safety car restart. I don't know why you're doing this. He's just being a massive plonker for no reason.
Come on, guys.
See, what I'd do is, if I was the Alfa Romeo, don't drive this at home, but what I always do is just something like this. But just, when you...
No, and they've actually just come together.
Oh my god. What I usually do if I'm like the person in front is I swerve slightly into them, or not into them, but I'll swerve in their direction, and then they go, "Oh, I need to back out," and they get scared, and they sit behind me for the safety car. Obviously, don't actually swerve into them and take them out because that would be
And I think Captain Boyd got a penalty for that.
Right. Well, he was the guy in front, wasn't he?
Oh, wow, that's a very late safe car restart call
as well.
Call. Very late.
Jans doesn't have any time to prepare.
Yeah, Jans will have to back out, and these two won't have their tires warmed up at all now.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Look at Frank's house. He's ready to go. When will the AlphaTauri go?
God, they're bunching up. They are all bunching up.
He has gone. Sorry, I let out in that.
I think there's going to be an accident going into turn 1 somewhere. But they've all managed to keep it clean at the front. Actually, they managed to keep it clean at the back as well. But Captain Void is trying to go for the move on Han. There has been someone gone off at the back. It's one of the Hassers. But we're keeping on board with these two as Captain Void takes the inside. He goes to the outside of 4, but it won't be enough because he'll get squeezed out. And it's the other McLaren trying to take him from behind. As we're coming towards turn 5 now, he is trying to come in towards this middle sector and potentially use this long back stretch to either defend or attack from the McLaren ahead or behind him.
Yeah, down the grid, then you've still got Jigs behind Sly. He stayed there in P6 where it was Ramos splitting so Jigs will be smiling from one end to the other that Ramos is still there, that is for sure. However, he will have to get by tonight eventually, and we might see that move. Just no straight line speed. Everyone's got an eye on the wins except Trigon later. But down the inside goes the Alfa Romeo.
He has gone up the inside on the guy with older tyres. It's tough to fight this one, but he's actually managed to keep it really well. I don't know what the Alfa Romeo was trying there, but off the inside, sends it. That's a very bold move. And to be fair, I think Alfa Romeo was a bit harsh by turning in on him, and that's completely ruined his flow. Now we see Jix go to the inside, but then this is Jix who is in the fight for the win. There's a crack on the straight. What's happened there?
I think there was a Lance Stroll movement. Trigon later, boys, out of the race, and that's another. It's exactly what you said would happen. Safe cars bring safety cars. They're aggressive cars.
It's just because it bunches the field back up, and people, some people are trying to defend really hard because they're trying to keep track position, and some people are trying to advance really a lot because they're trying to get through on the other cars in front of them. Someone's got a driver. It's the debutant Lintayer, who's kind of hobbling around the back of the field. I'm not exactly sure what to him in this race.
He goes from wing damage on the restart, then pitted, which of course explains a lot. He gets past the safety car.
Yeah, he seems to be played by bad luck. The case is now, do the likes of Jans and Han come in for mediums?
You've committed, gotta stay out.
Okay. It's also looking very overcast.
It is. Maybe we can get some. I'm gonna jump into a VC and ask how it is for weather real quick. Let me check. Who should I join? I'll join Mercedes. Well, I'll be back in a sec.
So while he's gone, let's see what is going on this safety. Just under the safety car period. Let's see if anyone comes in. I doubt. As I said, Jolly Boy said that he was sure people wouldn't come in, and he is correct. They haven't done so. Why is I was about to say why is Captain Void so far back off the rest of the package? Because he has come in. Captain Void and Freight have come in to the pits onto new tyres. So Captain Void is on. He might have had damage of some sort. These two might have had damage from contact. But that's put them to the bottom of the top, right at the bottom of the pack.
Information. So no rain expected.
Boring.
Make it rain.
Exactly, but to be fair, if we have even more safety cars, the weather projections obviously it's based on time. It's not based on laps. So
right, yeah.
If the race was planned to go for like, they're usually around 40-45 minutes of league races in 50%. If we have a many safety cars to bring it up to like an hour, we could get some rain when it wasn't predicted.
Yeah, anyway, this is the third safety car, which is what I predicted. Yeah.
Yeah, so also two drivers came in. It was Captain Void and Friet came in at the end of that, I think, for damage. But yeah, the builders all bunched up now. We have a couple of drivers who still need to catch up. SNY and Linter, the rookie, the debutant, who's really been in the dumps today, to be honest. With 12 laps to go, he might be able to get he's got a drive-through, so yeah, it's not looking good for him. But we're hoping that he can. The only way is up from here, really. If not in this race, in the future races, he can build from here. But yeah, SNY is just trying to catch us to the back of the pack. We're not going to have safety car in at the end of this lap. It will be the end of the next lap, we assume. So we'll have 12 laps of racing, provided we don't have any more safety cars. But trying to promise that is would be a bold.
Maybe to tend to fire while on a campsite.
Yeah.
That's a good bet. I'm going to use that one more. That's a good one. Don't put it per se.
One thing I will say is people have been good with penalties today compared to the Friday race.
Easy to get them in Australia though.
So, like we've only had 4 people with penalties now, and they were a lot better than they were in the Friday race. I remember someone had like 20 seconds worth, from what I remember. But yeah, I mean the early safety cars will have helped with that as well because you spend less time under green flag conditions.
Yep. However, we will be in this lap 18 on to 19 yards, leading away. However, Jigs is hot on his heels on those fresh mediums. I mean, those mediums are pretty much still like 2% after only about 2 laps of racing.
Yeah, Jigs is going to get past. Captain Void didn't do, or Captain Void and the McLaren, or the other McLaren, I can't remember, didn't do what they were supposed to do on restart, which was try and do everything to get past the hard runners. They were very cautious, especially Captain Void. Jigs isn't going to be that cautious. He won't be overly aggressive, but he'll be firm and fair. And I think his overall pace advantage as a driver over Jansa and Han will allow him to get into the lead easier than what we saw with Captain Void and Friet.
Yep. Anyway, it's a early call compared to last time, which gives all the drivers a bit more time to prepare themselves both mentally and physically. Of course, these are high-performance athletes sitting in chairs all day.
Don't just people who sit in chairs all day. Chess players are athletes.
Yeah. But don't they lose 6,000 calories just because I think so much? Right. Anyway, back to racing and motorsport, ladies and gentlemen. The AlphaTauri of Jans is leading away with Han hot on his diffuser. He can pretty much smell the ERS being used there.
Yeah, he is all over him, and he's gone. And I think he's got the jump there. To be honest,
he has. What about behind though? Kevin, very close to Jigs. He will stay behind Jigs. Not a lot of moves going on into turn 1. Everyone 2/10 back. However, Captain Void on Don't Play with 0. He is only less than a 10th back. Same as me and Ramos. Jigs looking to get involved now as well.
Absolutely, I think he's at the inside. I don't think we can see him, but he's now at the inside. He's trying to send it. It's an awkward place to be. He needs to be trying these alternate lines, and he is doing. He compromises the McLaren going into turn 5, which will allow him to get a better run onto the banana. He comes through onto the start of the banana straight, and let's see what he can do. I'm not sure if he'll be deploying EOS. If I was him, I definitely would be, because you need to try and get past it. Don't play Zero, force to the back of the pack. He's gone from hero to zero, you could say.
When was he a hero?
Never. So you could say he's gone from mediocre to zero.
We love you, don't play with Zero. Don't take anything we say serious.
Or you can do, and then you can try and cancel us. I don't mind.
To the right, Jake's still behind and yards. He is being patient. He doesn't want to be too patient because you got Kevin and Cecil right there sniffing at the back. Once again, Han very quick through the second to last corner, then loses it in the final corner.
Yellow!
And that's just me. Very slow.
There might have been an incident between him and the debutant Haas, but look at that! We've got,
there's a fight for the lead as well. Oh, no, mind. I think
lead. Okay.
Back out of it.
What's going on? Camera, what happened? As we see,
It's the upper layer behind Nate's house.
Yep, yeah, Doug's forever the guy who I said he had no spatial awareness earlier on. Can't overtake. Not surprised. As we come on towards, we're going back towards the battle for the lead now. As we come on towards the banana straight again on lap 20. So 10 laps or 9.5 laps to go here. If I was Han, I'd be trying to get on that inside. Yellow flags, inside to one of the Ferraris. It's Shmi again. He is in the dump.
So we're waiting for DRS to be enabled because that is when the chaos starts, people.
It will be when the chaos starts. Because people will be sending moves left, right, and centre. But Jix is not one of those people, at least not yet. Han is all. Oh, he's made a mistake into the sharp right hander that could give Jix the chance. He backs out of it again. He is being cautious. Oh, I thought he was going to send it on the inside into there, but he has intimidated Han a little bit. Han takes a bit of a wider line. Oh, this is close. He's bumping the back of Jans.
Oh, here goes the McLaren though.
Them both from there. They're going up side by side in T1.
Jigs has to capitalise on this.
And he's out, and he's out.
Never mind, he's still in. Has he beached it though? No, he hasn't. Well, his front wing is off, but Jigs, it will be. Well, he's very happy now that he's into P2.
He's now got a golden ticket to get into the lead. But what he needs to do after he's got into the lead is try and pull away, because this pack of cars stretches back to P8.
Yep.
All in DRS range. And you can see Kevin is trying to go to. He's looking for a move. He's going for it. We're going to Ricardo Zonta moment from Belgium 2000 as we go to the inside, and Kevin takes the lead. That was the moment that Jig should have used to take the lead, but he didn't. He could try and get it into the second part, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to make a move into the sharp right-hander.
It is heating up here in the last 10 laps there. We've got just under, like 40 kilometers of racing to go, 30 in fact. Jigs dropped down to P2. It's now a straight fight between the top three. Cecil in there as well, so I mean, anyone can win this race.
Yeah, Jans has dropped back from first to fourth in about 5 corners. So that is obviously very bad for him. But
wonders.
Yeah, it is. And Jix, will he try some tricks going into turn 3? No, he backs out of it in the end. I'm trying to think of other words that rhymes with Jix.
Well, that was a good one. He will be using all the tricks up his sleeve, that is for sure. Coming on to probably the best overtaking spot, which is into a not heavy braking zone. So that's, if I think he might just be a bit too far back. However, this DRS has been very powerful, as we have seen today.
Yeah, he's going around the outside and he's already got
one about the one behind him.
Yeah, but he's not going to, they're too far behind. But obviously, they will have DRS again, and they won't have it. That's the thing. But the thing is, Kevin will have the slipstream, which will help him out, and it'll just keep him behind him long enough. Yellow flags. So I think there's someone's gone off at the back. Oh, someone's gone to the gravel. It's on the McLaren. Where you at? Line of Remus. Is Janet still there?
Yes, I'm still going to hold up. I'm just checking something. I think this is the lap 12 crash. You know, that massive one.
Yep.
Yeah. Alright, so what happened on lap 12, which was the same for ED got a tank slapper and then he just got collected. That's all you need to know. Anyway, back to the racing. Kevin still behind Jigs as the two championship fighters. However, Jigs could come out of this with a larger points gap, but Kevin could equally come out as leader of this championship till Sunday. Almost said Friday. It's not Friday. I wish it was Friday.
As he goes to, he backs out of a potential move. As Caesar is licking his lips, I assume, seeing these two battle, because it could end in chaos. He's gonna be, he's not going for moves that he was definitely going for on Friday. He's definitely had a bit of, time to contemplate his potentially bad moves in previous weeks. Or in previous days. As we come on towards the main straight. He's backing out again. The more he goes to the inside and keeps backing out, he's going to keep losing that outside line. But now we go to Jans trying to overtake Frey. One of the race leaders earlier on is now down in 6th place, battling for the wooden spoon of the points because he's on those old hard tyres that are just so much worse than everyone else.
Yeah.
He could create a bottleneck if he's not careful.
Yep, as those tyres have clearly seen better days.
Yeah. It looks like that. I think we could see potentially. Kevin has got the run of his life as he's coming towards the Clark chicane. Will he make it? He has. Before we even get through the corner, and he'll get DRS down the back stretch, will leave him enough room to... he is being attacked still. Jigs is right behind him, and I think Caesar might have a chance. He backs up in the end, but they'll line astern the top 4.
Unfortunately, I'll have to go, so I'll throw my predictions out there. I think Jigs will get it, then Caesar, then Kevin. Thanks for having me, everyone. Netza will take good care of all of you, that's for sure.
So, we're coming down the front stretch in towards T1 now. He's not even in the slipstream. He's allowing Caesar the chance to potentially help him in this fight for victory. And he's got loads of ERS. I'm not sure exactly how much ERS Kevin has to play with. He's got about 2/3 of the battery remaining, which is obviously a lot less than what Jigs has to play with. I think the reason why Jigs is saving ERS is 1, because he doesn't want to go into the last lap while leading, and 2, potential for a late safety car. Obviously, the last lap that a safety car can come out is lap 27. Just as that saver, actually, he's burning some of that ERS that he could get past before the DRS zone even comes about, and that is completely true. He's already got the move done, which could allow Caesar to try and close in to the back of Kevin. He's not done so, but Jigs has ran away from Kevin, and that's completely caught him by surprise. He's using ERS to try and keep up, but he's obviously has a deficit that he still has. He is trying to keep in that DRS, but because he knows that if he falls out of the DRS, he is screwed. As we move on towards lap 26, Jigs is leading. I said at the start of last lap that I thought if Kevin kept him behind, he would be able to win this, but now I'm not so sure. He has the DRS. He has the overtake deployed. He might be able to just keep within DRS if he can just keep the car in check. His race pace has been actually really good today. But I think Jigs is playing the long game. Has been playing the long game his entire race, and has only taken until now to properly pounce. Caesar has fallen back. I'm not exactly sure what the reason for that could be, but he's now 1.2 seconds behind this leading pair. As Fleming Hall gets another penalty, we see coming in towards lap 26 now. We're on board still with Kevin. He is within the DRS range. He's about 8 tenths behind now, but he's raking in Jigs. He will gain to probably about 3 tenths behind before the end of the straight. Actually, only 4 tenths, 5 tenths even, you could say. But he'll definitely reel in a little bit more at the end of this one. As Caesar is being challenged by Limitless, and they both go off. And Limitless is out. That could be a safety car. Oh, and the Red Bull of the season, I'm not sure where Caesar has gone. He's down to 7th. I'm not sure if he has any damage. I'm not sure if he has any potential rear wing damage or diffuser damage. Those two were fighting for the podium positions and they've fallen off the circuit. Kvyat assumes that 3rd place, followed by Jan, and those two are now fighting for the last podium position. We move on to lap 27 though, and there is no safety car, so we are not having a safety car deployed in the latter stages of this race. DRS is wide open for Kevin as we come down the backstretch in towards turn 3. He's a lot more close to Jan than Jix than he has been in previous laps. Can we get an DRS check on Jix, please? I think he'll have a lot more than Kevin. As we come in towards the fast right-hander onto the backstretch, Kevin will have a good run, and he has had a good run. Cesar gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Clearly, it's just gone to his head the fact that he's no longer in a podium position. And now we could see a challenge. Yellow's in sector 3, not sure what that is, but we see Kevin backs out of the move. That could be costly. His teammate Shmi retires. He's gone. I think he's crashed at the he's crashed at the sharp right-hander. We might potentially see them as we go on, but we might potentially see him as we go on board with him. He has done so. Oh, actually, no, it's his AI. His AI. He went into the gravel and his AI was still controlling the car. That could have been catastrophic had that AI come onto the track in front of the leaders. I think you should get a warning or a weatherman for that kind of conduct as we come on towards the penultimate lap of this race. On board with Kevin. He's as close as he's ever been to the back of Jix in the last couple of laps. He's not going to go for turn 1. I don't know why he keeps going to the inside, because he's just minimising his line, and that's why Jix gets such better access than he does. Just stay behind. If you're not going to go for an overtake, just lift off and stay in the same line, mate. Silly boy trying to go to the inside and look, oh, I might go for a move when you're a car length behind going to turn 1. Great idea, my friend. Not going to work. As we come in towards the midfield, not the midfield battle, but kind of the last battle for the battle for the last podium position, as I can't get my words out. On board with Void, will he be able to fill the void that comes behind Jix and Kevin Van Dijk here as we come on towards the final lap and a half of this event here in Australia? The RS is open for both of him and the McLaren in front of him on Kvyat. They go into the lap. Oh, as Jans was moving to the right there, and Kvyat just assumed that he could go to a gap that was already closing. I'm not sure exactly what he was trying there, but it didn't work for him. But he is trying to go around the outside into this corner. That's bold. Going around the outside of someone who's on really old tyres is a very bold strategy, and it's not worked for him. He is trying to keep it around the outside, but that's never going to work, mate. You're always going to get shoved out, and that's why the Alfa Romeo's on his inside. They're all battling. Oh, mate, when someone's actually alongside going into a corner, you can't just force them out. It was different for you, you spanner. As we come in towards the final straight, or not the final straight, the last lap, and we have the main straight here. Remus is getting involved with this battle. But yeah, some questionable driving there between these drivers in trying to fight for what is the last podium position, and Jans has managed to benefit a lot from it. But I'll tell you, Kevin has struggled to keep with Jix as boy tries to go for a gap but isn't really on and gets squeezed out there, and that's going to lose him any chance, I think, of getting a podium now. We've still got the battle for the lead is pretty much over. It's a 9/10 gap. I don't know why Kevin has fallen off as bad as he has. I think maybe Jix has just dumped towards the RS just to prove a point. That's potentially what's happened there. But the battle for 3rd place is still on between Kvyat and Jans. Oh my god, Captain Void is pushing like absolutely crazy, but it's not going to be enough. The battle for 3rd place is on between the Alpha Tauri and the McLaren. And it's Kvyat who's managed to get a lot ahead going into the fast right-hander, unless he sends a dive bomb into the last couple of corners. I don't know why Kvyat's gone defensive. He's going to lose him all the time on the exit of the corner. Defends it very well though, actually. And we're going to have a drag race to the line, potentially, as Jix has won, followed by Kevin. But we're going to see a drag race to the line, which is won by... It was won by Kvyat, but actually the time penalties have changed the order around a bit. So Jans loses out in the end, and Remus takes the last podium position. I wasn't focused on the time penalties, I probably should have been. Remus takes the 3rd place position, followed by Kvyat, in fourth, Janssen fifth, 0.026 seconds. Do you want to get it any closer? That's closer than the gap between pole and second place in qualifying. Then it's Captain Void, then it's SNY, then it's Caesord, then Finishing Heart finished in 9th place, Ducks Forever finished in 10th. Han, after being in that leading fight, then he got involved in a couple of incidents, and now he's on P11. And the debutant Lintear really struggled in that race. I'm not sure if he had damage to the whole lot of it, or if he's just inexperienced, but he's down in 12th. We'll go into the full final results in a minute. But it was a good drive. It was a good race, and it was chaotic, but also had elements of really good racing. As we come on to the podium now, the Mercedes driver, and I've forgotten what his name is. Oh my god, I've forgotten his name. That's an awkward moment from me. The Mercedes, followed by the Ferrari, followed by the... my mind's just gone completely... Followed by Remus. I know Remus is on the podium. Then it's Kevin. Then it's Jix. There we go, Owen. Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry, guys. I forgot the blinking drivers I was just commentating on. But yeah, they're all celebrating on the podium. Some drivers lost their chances to get on that podium by just being a bit reckless, but Jix was not one of those drivers. Finished in first place, followed by Kevin, followed by Remus, followed by Freya, followed by Jans, followed by Captain Void, SNY, Caesord, Finishing Heart, Ducks Forever. Han and Lintear finished in last place. Don't Play Zero was still classified in 13th place despite crashing out on 2 laps remaining. Then we have Shmee, who also retired with a couple of laps remaining and had that questionable rejoin from his AI. We might have to have a word into that. Limitless, who got crashed out at the Clark chicane. Try Again Later Boy. 34% both Williams out then. Edie, Toto, and Rajic could not produce any magic after his impressive qualifying result. Yeah, that was an interesting race for me to commentate on and to see what everything's got on. I'm not sure exactly when the stream usually ends, but yeah, thank you everyone. I'll see you all later. Yeah, forgot about interviews. I totally didn't forget about interviews. So that was an interesting race. I'll wait for everyone to get in, and then I'll continue with the interviews. So I think have we got everyone we need? We have everyone. Okay, thank you, Martin. So I'm going to send over my first question to Remus. Obviously, from what I know, it's your first podium. This definitely this season. I'm not sure if it's your first podium in the entire league. What are your thoughts and feelings right now after being in that battle the entire last part of the race?
Hello. Yeah, this is my first podium. Yeah, I have no word. The medium feels pretty good for me, and yeah, I have nothing else to say. It was a crazy race. Yes, my first podium.
Obviously, there was a couple of safety cars. It was similar to the Friday race. I'm not sure if you were in that, but how did you the mental aspect of the race, and how did you keep your head in the game? Obviously, I think you got on the podium because of a lack of penalties. Obviously, it's still a completely valid achievement. How did you keep your head clear in that whole safety cars and that whole race?
Yeah, I have to thank Rajic for helping me the entire race. He kept me steady behind the cars with the penalty. Yeah, I made no mistake, fortunately. And
yeah. So good job from you there. It was a very good drive. Obviously, I think what position did you cross the finish line in? Was it 4th or 5th?
P6, I think.
Oh, P6, but you still obviously got it on penalties. Do you think you'd have got a podium if it wasn't for the safety cars? Because obviously the safety cars bunched everyone up, and it meant that you, with less penalties, got the better result.
Yeah, if there was no penalty and safety car, I think I wasn't in the podium because I have not the pace for that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but it's
the
still
safety
well
car.
deserved. You can only play the
Yeah.
cards you dealt. So, yeah. So I think with that, we'll move on to our second place man, if he's in here, Kevin. Obviously, I saw you and I commentated on you in the Friday race, and you seemed to be a bit kamikaze in that race, but seemed a lot more calm and composed. Did you take stuff that you learned from that Friday race into today to improve your result?
Yep, I was more calm today, so that helped definitely. And I knew I had the pace at least to fight jigs, so that helped also. Yeah, and I didn't do any stupid moves like in the Friday race, because I crashed into I think the Alfa Romeo, and that ruined my entire race. But no, this time it was very clean for me, from my side.
One thing I did notice while I was doing the commentary was every time we looked, you had consistently had less ERS than Jigs. Obviously, this is a very overtake heavy circuit because of the amount of DRS zones. Did that lack of ERS compared to Jigs hamper you and your chance to get into the race? Because there was multiple times where you had to back out of moves because you just weren't close enough going into the braking zone.
Yeah, my strategy was to stay behind jigs, but on the straight I had so much more straight line speed. I actually didn't want to overtake him a few times, but yeah, I'm happy I had the pace at least.
Do you think that if you'd have approached that differently, or if you'd have done something differently, you could have won? And what would that thing be, if so?
I think the not get track limits that's first, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should have stayed out at the second safety car with the hearts. Maybe, but it's difficult. It's difficult
It's
because
difficult to call in the moment because you don't know what's
yeah,
going to happen later
yeah,
on.
exactly, yeah.
But yeah, it was still a good drive from you. I think is after criticising you quite heavily in the Friday race, I think there's nothing I can say about that was anyway negative. I think now this means we're going to swiftly move on to our race winner. Was out front for quite a lot of the running. Jix, how obviously we've heard from Kevin's side how he managed the fight. How were you feeling when he was constantly there, even if he wasn't going for moves, he was constantly there right behind you?
Yeah, I was at the first the start of the race. I was just trying to manage, and yeah, I was on the softer compound. And I think after the first safety car, I was on the softer compound also. But yeah, I think after the first safety car, I was like trying to push out of it, out of the DRS zone, but I think it didn't really work. And then every time the DRS is so powerful on this circuit, and the slipstream and the energy is also very powerful. So it was hard to stay out, and yeah, I felt the pressure. I think almost every lap in the race. So it was quite difficult, but I was trying to keep my energy levels above 80%, at least. And I think on the last safety car, I think it was the last safety car. I tried to push out of the DRS, but I think in lap 23 or something. But yeah, it didn't work. The DRS was too powerful. Kevin could have had the same pace, and I think he had a slightly more pace. I think also because I had to push really hard. But yeah, yeah, it was a good race for me.
Yeah, and one thing I want, speaking of your whole pace, because he hardly ever, obviously, you didn't really pull out of his kind of wake really until like the last two laps. Was that because I didn't really see on stream, but was that just because you dumped all your ERS in the last two laps?
Yeah, I used, I think, in between 25 and 27, I think I used lap 25, 27. I think I used a lot of ERS, and then I knew I couldn't get out of it, so I just thought, okay, let's spare the ERS when he wants to overtake me. But as soon as I saw that he got a penalty for track limits, I just had to bring it home.
Were you trying to get fastest lap at all by using all that ERS, or was the tires nowhere near fastest lap level?
Yeah, I wanted to try it, but I asked, I think in lap 28, I asked my engineer what is the fastest lap. But it was, I think my fastest lap was on 119.2 and the fastest lap was on 180.7 or something like that. So I tried it for it in the last lap, but then I think in turn 2, I already knew, okay, it's not going to work. My tires are done.
Okay, fair enough. So I think overall it was a great race to commentate on. There was lots of stuff going on. So thank you everyone for listening in. And thank you guys for doing the interviews right at the end there. Have a good day, and that should be your lot for this stream and commentary.